Good afternoon and welcome back. Welcome if you are new. My name is Veronica. I'm a wife and mom to 8. And today we're making snacks for the kids. I've got a few recipes here that we're gonna try. We are gonna be making some Goldfish Crackers, some homemade granola bars, the peanut butter Cherrios that I know you guys have seen me make these before. This is a simple recipe, so we're gonna do that. And hopefully we can get to doing some Rice Krispie treats as well. And I also have a lollipop recipe, but I'm not sure if we will get to that. I told the girls if they wanted to help me, they are more than welcome to help me. If not, that's okay. They help me enough. So we're gonna get started with the Goldfish Crackers right here. First I'm gonna give it a try because I've never done this recipe before. And if it works out, I will share the recipe with you. What I do want to share with you, and I'll link it down in the description box below, is this. This bread recipe that I have been making is absolutely delicious. It's sandwich bread. I made 4 loaves this morning because we ran out, and we have been enjoying it, just making sandwiches. It's a sourdough recipe, but I will be sure to link that below because that has turned into one of my favorite sandwich bread recipes, and all the kids love it because it doesn't have the sour taste to it. So I'll link that in the description box below, but let's get started. I've got one helper today, or as of now. We're gonna start off by shredding some sharp cheddar cheese. So we're gonna go ahead and shred it. We got our cheese grated. I am going to triple my recipe because it just calls for 1 cup of flour, and 1 cup of flour does nothing around here. Since we are quadrupling the recipe, it calls for 32 ounces of cheese, which is exactly this. And we've got a little baby picking at our cheese right here. All right, so in my bowl, I have 2 sticks of salted butter. It calls for unsalted butter, but I added salted butter. That's what I had. Like I said, I'm quadrupling this recipe, so I added 2 sticks of butter and 32 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese and 4 cups of flour. 2. And to this, you are going to add 2.5 tablespoons of cold water. Since I'm quadrupling it, I'm adding 10 tablespoons of water. I did end up adding a little bit more water because the mixture wasn't holding together as well. But after you add your water, you mix and mix and mix, and it should form something like this. You can roll it into like a little ball. Once you form a ball, you can stick it in the refrigerator for a good 30 minutes or so until it's firm, or you can roll it out. About 30 minutes, I've got my Goldfish Cracker cutter right here. I'm gonna roll it out and cut them and put them onto a pan. A little bit of flour. And roll it. This is about 3/8 of an inch. I don't know about how much that is. And you get your molds and you just press it on the dough just like you would a cookie. It was a little bit hard for us because we couldn't figure out if we should pick at each little fishy, take them out each individually, or take them out as a whole, like a pack. And in the end, it was easier just to take them all out, just like I did, just like that. And we bake them at 350 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. And these are our goldfishes. They're still really hot, but they don't really look like goldfishes. But I think I might have made them, ouch. I might have made them a little too thick, but we can try again some other time.
Yeah.
I just pulled out these other goldfishes. You can't even tell them. Oh, they're hot. And I left them in a little bit longer to where they're a little bit crispier. And they are pretty good. I just feel like I need to make them a little bit thinner maybe. Ooh, hot. Just so they can crisp up a little bit. It was kid approved. The kids said they all liked them, so that's a plus. And for our next snack, we are going to make Rice Krispie treats. We are just going to use the recipe in back of the Rice Krispie treat box. Perla had already made a batch when I went to go sleep the baby, so we're just going to make another batch for you. So all we got to do is melt the butter. And to this, she's going to add 5.5 cups of marshmallows to the mixture and let it melt. Once the mixture is melted, it should look similar to this. Just the marshmallows nicely dissolved. And then you will add your 6 cups of Rice Krispie.
Last time I made a huge mess with this.
Oh yeah, I bet. She's gonna plop them on this pan, which we had already made some previously, and we plopped them out. And this is what they look like once we had finished them. We actually put them in the freezer for just a little bit so they can set quicker. And we're just gonna cut them up into little bars, and we're gonna stick them in the refrigerator in plastic baggies. And this is what they turned out. A little thick for my liking, but they were delicious. For our next recipe, we're gonna make homemade granola bars. So you're gonna start off by adding the peanut butter. It calls for 3/4 cups of peanut butter. I am doubling the recipe, and it calls for 1/3 cup of honey. Let me tell you that I preheated my pot just so it can be warm and the peanut butter can melt, but you don't have to if your peanut butter is soft. Then you add your vanilla extract. That's 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And lastly, you will add your mini chocolate chips. Then you add in your 2 cups of rolled oats. I'm doubling it, so I'm adding 4 cups. And you mix and you mix. Lastly, you add your chocolate chips. Mix that well. Make sure to get all the sides and everything. And you get your pan where you're going to put it in. I sprayed mine with a little bit of oil spray so it wouldn't stick. And you press it down really well so when you stick it in the refrigerator, they can form little bars. And I ended up making another double batch just to fit this pan, for our family. You press it down really well, and I ended up using the back of my measuring spoon or measuring container to press down really well, make it nice and firm. And I'm going to stick that in the refrigerator. Next, we are making peanut butter Cheerio bars. This is a super easy recipe. You've seen it make it before. So in a pot over medium heat, you add your 3/4 cup of peanut butter. I am doubling the recipe. And 1/2 cup of honey. And you let that melt. Once it melts, you turn off the stove and you add 3 cups of Cherrios. And put it into a pan. So you give this a really good mix. Make sure all the Cherrios are well coated. And I also sprayed my pot over here with some cooking spray. And you add it to your pot or your pan. So you just pour it in and make sure, just like the granola bars, press it down really well. And here I ended up making another double batch because of course it wasn't going to be enough. And I press it down really well, make sure it's nice and firm. And I will stick it in the refrigerator as well until it's firm, and then we just cut them into bars. And here are some clips of the goldfishies. This was a big hit. We will be making this again. And the granola bars were okay, but I think I will find a better recipe. It had too much peanut butter. And these are our all-time favorite. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great weekend.